Hello, it's good to have you join us again for your program Close Flow, coming to you from NTA2 Lagos Network Center. It's our delight, our pleasure, and always very exciting to know that we have you as our guests, to join us in the conversation again as we continue to unravel the story of Nigeria and how all of us are playing our part, whether, positively or negatively. Today again, we have the pleasure of inviting to the studio yet another distinguished Nigerian to come and share with us his own experience and his thoughts and his ideas on how we can actually make this country to be one of the greatest on the face of the earth. If it's possible in our lifetime, if it's not going to be possible in our lifetime, maybe we can have a fair certainty that, by the time our children are about our age, then that reality will be with us. And we are drawing that strength from that sector of the economy where everybody all over the world thinks that Nigeria should be in the league of nations. But my fear, or maybe I shouldn't say my fears, well, my hope is that that expectation will be true. Now, I guess I must let you know, well, he started this journey a long time ago. I knew when he was just a young boy, trying to put his stories together. So that tells you he's a screenwriter, he's a producer, he's a director, but more importantly, he's a doyen of movie-making business in Nigeria, and currently is the president of the Association of Movie Producers of Nollywood. My pleasure to welcome Ralph Nwadike to Close Flow.
Thank you, FM. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, Ralph is an old member of the family. He cut his teeth also in this environment, and that time, how many years ago were you running around here when I was chasing
81 to 90.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And you're still looking this good.
I'm a small boy, like you said. Yes. We thank God.
Now, just casting your mind back, and the writers' workshops, the camaraderie, the conviviality of that time, trying to put a story together, to put a drama on. Did you miss all that? Is there any sense of nostalgia?
Naturally, definitely. There's no place like NTA. That's the truth. Just a couple of weeks ago, myself and about 30 of Nigerian producers came back to this house to meet with the executive director of programs,
yes,
Mr. Wale Coker, and the whole idea is to see how those of us who have cut our teeth, as it is, and can come and put something back to the house. This is our home. Most of us, in fact, majority of those you call Nollywood today, started from here. This is our birthplace, and it will be a thing of joy that we'll get this place rising again. We get the world to know this is the first and the best in Africa. And
yes,
and
most of your stories were 8 to 9.
To God be the glory. But yeah, we'll do something. We're trying to do something, and to God be the glory. Also, management of NTA are very much in line with what we're saying. And something's going to happen soon. So I'll perhaps tell the viewers to be on the lookout.
Okay, let's look at what is on the table right now. My worry again, Ralph, is that there is the inevitable convergence between technology and content. You're a content maker.
That's correct.
So how quickly is Nollywood riding that cusp? How is Nollywood prepared for that convergence?
Well, yes, Nollywood.
Maybe you are trying to say yes and no.
No, I won't say yes and no. I will say that we just need some more education. All right. Nollywood, right now, in fact, we're talking about going digital.
Yes.
And if not for the little setback here and there, we should have started this since last year.
Yes.
And as a filmmaker, I'll say that most of us have not really got into that capacity building process where we're truly taught the whole idea, advantages of digitalization, and also how it's going to benefit the industry, benefit the entire ecosystem.
Yes.
A couple of people have put it together. So look, maybe there could be some sort of workshop to proper educate Nigerian filmmakers Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we're that illiterate.
Yes, but we are saying you should be more steeped.
Yes, this is something pretty new to some of us. And the best way for us to actually swim in the ocean of it is for us to get this training. And I'm sure a couple of people are putting things together so that the industry can benefit further. But it's a good process because the world has gone digital.
Yes.
And we cannot continue to be in the 50s or in the 60s or in the 70s of production. Our production values have grown. Nollywood is known all over the world. So if every Nigerian, you walk on the streets of UK, or you go on any of the roads in America, all right, you're dressed like this or I'm dressed like that. The first thing is, oh, are you Nigerian? Yes. All right. And having said that, that is why some of us are also trying to put an event together called I Am Nollywood. Well, that is just coming very soon.
Yes.
But yes, Nigeria must be at par with the world. And we're doing everything humanly possible to make sure we'll be on that level.
Okay, you have said something about value. And now experience value, it's a concern in some circles, in Nigeria here, even outside, that the kind of stories that we put across on Nollywood, are we deepening the emotions that our consumers are getting from those stories, or are we trivializing the African story in the way we pass the stories? You're a storyteller, so are we deepening the emotions our consumers are getting from these stories, or are we just trivializing our lives?
I'll quickly like to say something. You see, there's a process in life. Just like when a man is born, he starts by lying on his back, and then learn to kind of stoop.
Yes.
And then learns how to crawl, and then he starts to walk, and then he can become a runner. That is the process we are in. Look, our industry, as it were, all right? I'm not going to say Nollywood, because Nollywood, if you have to date it, it's about 26 or 27 years old, all right? Yes. But, of course, the industry has been on for long with, of course, Paolo Martins, Papa Ogunde, and the rest of them.
Yes.
But Nollywood became a phenomenon and became a name that is, ascribed to Nigerian filmmakers, or to Nigerian, generally anything film in Nigeria or the creative industry is addressed as Nollywood. So we just started. We cannot, because we say you're Nollywood or there's Bollywood, we cannot start comparing ourselves now with the likes of Hollywood or even Bollywood, all right? So we have to learn how to run the race, okay? But we're getting there. Yes, our stories in the beginning were not that trivial, but the fact is that some stories were pretty good, some were just, make it just go. But we've gone beyond those stages of let it just go. We're now into the area of producing contents that the world will see. And for the world to see our contents, you must be able to give, stories are the same anywhere in the world.
Human stories.
Yes, human story. A love story that anybody can relate to, whether in China or in Afghanistan,
Japan,
or in Abu Dhabi, in India, can also be, can be followed here in Nigeria. Don't forget also, when we were young men, or you maybe say young boys, we used to go to the cinemas to watch films. We watch Chinese films.
Indian films, yes.
We don't even understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
We watch Indian films and we sing and dance and cry to the stories they're telling us, even though we don't really understand. All right. So over those years, if you look back now at those Indian or Chinese films, you say, what crap is that? But we enjoyed it. Likewise, our films. Many years back, what are these people doing? But again, those who are able to follow it has followed the progression.
Yes.
All right. We're not going down. We're going up. We're moving. And all I can say is that things are getting better. And definitely, in terms of production, we are at par with any country, anywhere in the world. Maybe what we're not at par with them yet is the
technicals.
Not technical. No. I think we're almost there. If not there already. I'm talking about funding.
We'll come to funding, right?
Yes.
We'll come to funding. But continue your story.
So what I'm trying to say is that what truly will make us be at par with the world is the right kind of funding for our films. And so in terms of technicals, we're there. Because these cameras they use in America, we even have the better version. In 2013, by the grace of God, I went to assist a friend. And they were using DVC Pro that I've used way back in 1999,
yes.
year 2000.
Yes. Yes.
And I was telling them, what is this? They said, oh, it's the latest. I said, so that's not the latest camera. I used this thing 1999, 2000, year 2000. All right? So right now, today, Nigerian films were shooting at the best level. Red Dragon, Red Epic, all the reds you can think of in this world. When a camera comes out in America today, in the morning, by noon time or by evening time, that same camera is here in Nigeria. And our people are buying it. So we're shooting at the best level. And using it
appropriately?
And used of course, FM. Some of us who were also trained from NTA are those people manning those cameras and also doing those works. So of course we're very well trained, very well schooled. In fact, sometimes we're even more trained, technically, than those guys. That's the truth.
Okay, now that's good news, and I'm sure that Nigerians like to applaud Nollywood for what is happening in Nollywood, because it's phenomenal.
Yes.
But now let's come to an aspect that you have just raised now. So we are looking at funding, but many of the fund providers are skeptical about what is coming from Nollywood. They are saying it's too speculative. So I give you 100 million to do a movie. So what will be my returns? When half of your money, half of your expectations may probably be stolen by somebody else. So how can you now ask somebody to give you 100 million for a movie?
When you say stolen by somebody else, by who is it somebody else? A producer is just like any other business person or any other
investor,
manager, or any other manager working anywhere else. You know what that saying about is where you work that you're going to eat from.
Yes.
If I get 100 million from you today, damn, I'm not going to spend the 100 million on any production. I'm going to take care of myself. All right? I'll take care of myself and then take care of the production. All right? But the important thing is that what the investors or will-be investor are been afraid of is, will I get my money back?
Back, yes.
And yes, the good news again is, yes, you can get your money back now. All right? Because we're putting things in place.
I like that. You can get your money back now.
That's correct.
I like that.
Because in the past, all right, we just allowed the pirates to run our lives for us. We allowed thieves of, our commonwealth, intellectual property, to just take it and just run the street with it. In fact, at this point, piracy is no longer, as a new name, as a matter of fact. Piracy is no longer piracy as we see it. It's called impunity.
Yes.
Because you see, even the Bible says a thief comes to steal in the night. All right, that's a thief. He hides and does his thing and goes away.
But pirates
will take your work and tell you, Siam, at the seller, what can you do? Yes, that's what it means when you take my film, you put it on DVD, and then you go on the street of somewhere in Maryland or Alabama or anywhere in the world, and you sell it. Let me even tell you the worst thing. Some of our colleagues have had their films stolen, released even before the original owners released these films. And at the point we're saying, look, we're going to take the laws into our hands. But we say, look, this is a country governed by law. This is a country that has a justice system.
Yes.
Even though right now the laws against such activities
have been amended.
Right, even before my mother was born, that was when such laws were put down. But now things are coming to place. I want to commend the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who has been so good at supporting this industry. All right, before now, I must say, with all respect to those who have been there as ministers of information, now so English with the year, they will come and bamboozle us and tell us English and no action. But for the first time, we're seeing a minister of information and culture who goes beyond even his call, who is very concerned about this creative industry. Because you see, let's look at it. If we sell our films, if our films are doing well, investors will come in. Producers will be able to pay tax.
Yes.
Not only that, don't forget also, a couple of years back, this same industry rebased the economy of Nigeria by 1.4%.
Yes.
That was the time of President Goodluck, Jonathan. Now, this new government has said, we're going beyond rebasing the economy. We want to put money in the hands of filmmakers.
Yes.
All right? And they've done that even by being so nice by giving us 3 years tax holiday.
Tax rebate.
It's never happened before in this country. All right, and the minister have gone further to say, listen, what is your fear? What is your challenge? And we said, piracy, number one. He said, okay, we'll tackle it head on. And then to God be the glory, a gentleman called Mr. Adedayo Thomas, the executive director of National Film and Video Censors Board, has been so effective. Such a man who has been so proactive that just this month, he led teams of producers, marketers, and of course the enforcement to go to Alaba. The guys who were like gods.
Yes. Who were like untouchables.
You will see them because they're not spirits.
Yes.
They're humans like us.
Yes.
But say, no, you can't go there. Those guys are powerful. Oh. This guy, Adedayo Thomas, the ED
them, yes.
of Census Board, for the first time, look the devil in the eyes and say, you can't touch me. Because you are a thief. Best cars. Where the owners of the contents are walking the streets, not living in their own houses. All right. We are supposed to be the kings. We are the head. We are the ones. We are the golden. What's it called? The golden. Yes. That lays its golden eggs. Yes. But even before, as we are laying the egg, somebody already taking it. I mean, it's crazy. But you see, we must give it to Mr. Adedayo Thomas. We must give it to the Honorable Minister for Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Believe me, when they came in, some of us said, not be the same thing. But this one has gone beyond that. And then another issue, quickly, is issues of co-production.
Yes.
All right? This same gentleman, the Honorable Minister, we're trying to tackle. Because over the years, most countries want to work with Nigeria.
Yes.
But without co-production treaties...
That was going to be my next question. Yes. But I think you have jumped on. Yes.
Alhaji Lai Mohammed, I said, okay, fine. How do we go about this? You know? You see, the good thing about this man is he doesn't come to say, I know everything. Because he's minister. He came to us and said,
let's have an engagement. Let's have a conversation.
Yes, how can we do this? And we told him, okay, fine. And this gentleman doesn't just wait. When you tell him what is burning in the industry, it goes on full, head on. Just a couple of weeks back, there was a creative summit at the Hotel. Just about a couple of days ago, there was something again by the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria at Federal Palace Hotel. Things are beginning to happen. This industry, all right, that we all created. Before now, some of us, when we started, were saying, what are you doing? People are wasting your time. But now, it's beginning to look like a real food basket for this nation. For this nation. Not just for the nation, also for those who have strived over the years, for those who started from nothing, just with the sheer thought of, oh, I have this idea. Now, the money times are coming. So that's what I'm saying. Good news for the investors, those who are there, those who are coming, for the banks, for the telecoms industry. This is where to put your money in. Because not just, you see, when we say pirates, we're talking about DVDs and whatever, all right? But now we have cinemas. Kudos to people like Kenny Nkparu of Film One. Yes. The guy who has gotten money from here and there, from everywhere, who brought in his experience from outside the country to say, look, this is my country, Nigeria. We have to make sure something is done. They have about between 25 to 30 cinemas now, all right? Yes. But we're improving. Yeah. So it means that when your film is done and you do it well, your films can go to the cinema, screened, and then after that, you can go on internet, you can go on DVD. Okay, there's money.
We're actually going to come to that.
Yes.
So we're actually going to come to that because, again, the structure for marketing, the structure for exhibition other climes are not like ours there. We'll come to that. Okay. But first, I want you to address, because you are the president of the association.
That's right.
Now, I want us to address the question of, right now, we have bands of producers. We don't have strong studios, formidable studios, like we have in the UK, in South Africa, in India, in the US. You can see there are stragglers. One producer will come, maybe Raf will like his script, will now help him, assist him with some money, and then he will go. There's no studio lot. There is no, when is Nollywood going to get to that point?
We're almost there. In fact, some of us have such facilities on ground. I don't want to name names here, but a couple of us are setting up such big standard studios. And you see, everything's to boil down on investment. All right? The funding, for instance, I want to commend BOI, that's Bank of Industries, for they've put out their best leg forward. Yes. And they've started, giving funding to those producers who have qualified, But I use the word who have qualified. The system, you see, they're starting, all right? They're a company that have structured their loans, their business around Nollywood, trying to raise funding for production and everything, all right? But we need more. We need more. We need more from even the commercial banks. But BOI have started by what they've done, and then commercial banks have said, okay, for instance, I don't know if it's allowed, but Access Bank.
They're trying to do something.
Yeah, last year they started something called Nolly Fund, Access Nolly Fund, where they put down a billion naira for the filmmaking industry.
Have you accessed it?
We've not assessed it because, again, you see, the processing is a bit tedious. All right.
Now, this is where, again, you need to address your mind, especially for the benefit of young producers who are going to be probably, hoping that you're going to solve their problems. Now, if the commercial banks or if the likely investors are putting too many stringent conditions for anybody to access, then what would be the benefit? First,
before I answer that, I would like to say banks like BOI, I think that developmental financial institution, they've said this is the way we can go. All right. If they do it and they do it well, I hope they'll do it well. Other commercial banks will be able to join in. But again, banks like Access Bank, they didn't wait to see the success or the failures of what BOI are doing. They brought in their own funding and say, yes, this fund is available. Yes, we've not been able to access it because, of course, they approached us. We had meetings, hours of meetings with the executive, Mrs.
Whatever.
I want to mention her because she's doing well. Her name is Titi Oshitoki. She's the executive director of Access Bank. And she, with her management, we sat down several, not once, at least 5, 6, 10 times or whatever. In their office, they came to our office and we're trying to work out the modalities to see how these things, how the structures can benefit not just the bankers, but also, of course, the filmmakers. Don't forget, you see, most of us didn't start this with some money that has been kept somewhere. We started from almost nothing.
From your pockets.
From pockets, from selling those who have land or other assets.
Yes.
Some sold their cars.
Yes.
Some sold their landed property to do this business. Yes. So now that we're having these people to come to join us, we must, it's like a little bit to the left, a little to the right. But the good thing is that it's going to work. It's going to start, and very soon there's going to be disbursement for maybe a couple of producers, and then from there we'll see how well that one has done, and then we'll progress to other producers. But the funds are there, and they're going to give it. Yes,
okay.
It's available.
No. Let's come to that. You have said that, so that is good enough for us to hear. Now, the flip side of that is that Nollywood itself, how quickly are you ramping up in terms of, now so we have leagues. So how complementary are the leagues? How supportive are they to each other? So you have League of Producers, League of Directors, Screenwriters League, and all that. So how professional is your relationship?
Okay, I don't get scared, or I don't think I'm talking too big when I say I'm the #1 filmmaker in Nigeria, by the virtue of the fact that I'm the president of the Association of Movie Producers. Because if you look at the
hierarchy,
if you look at the organogram, the producers are #1. The directors, we pay the directors, we pay the screenwriters. The other guilds are under the Producers Guild, which we are the Producers Guild, the Association of Movie Producers. So we determine, what comes in there, what goes out there, and because if I don't pay a writer, he or she doesn't get to write. If I don't pay a director, what is he going to be directing? All right, I have to employ him. So our body, well, yes, the industry is pretty united. You could hear of one skirmish here and there, even in personal families. We do,
yes.
I mean, the teeth at the tongue, sometimes, don't always agree. But at the end of the day, we know that we're together. And because right now, this stage we are right now, the industry, Nollywood, has become so united, all right? Although little skirmish here and there, we have elders, all right? I want to mention a person like Chief Dr. Eddie Boma, who was actually the BOT chairman of my association, who is also the BOT chairman of the Directors Guild.
Yes.
People like that, people like Zebejo that we know, these are people that other producers, other producers look up to. All right, so they are always there to, oh no, you guys don't do this, it shouldn't be done this way. So yes, we're evolving. All right, and the good thing is that because of the unity of the industry, now forget about whether some people are from Kano, some people are from the Oyo or the Yoruba or the Igbo producers. We're all one. Recently, about 2 or so months ago, I was a guest to people in Kano. The Alhaji Abdullah Mekano, the president of the entire 15 northern states, welcomed me and my team. And my team. I mean, it's never been done before, but because we know that it's about time we all work together as one. That way, whoever is coming, either a local investor or
a foreign
investor, we know, oh, these guys are one. So if we go to Kano now, you mentioned Ralph Nwadike, we say we know him. If you go to the Yoruba sector, we say Ralph Nwadike. Likewise, if Mekano comes to Lagos, it's home to him. Yes. All right. If I go to the East, they won't say they don't know me. So that's how we've been able to, put this industry together, and we're working as one. So whatever happens in the North concerns the man in the South, concerns the man in the East. That is the way it's been, and that's the way it's going to continue to be.
Okay, now that is another great news again, because one other factor that people have pointed out is the fact that Nollywood is not doing enough historicals. We are not relating the story, the history of Nigeria, the way we all of us, just like you have said, what happens in the North affects what happens in the South, in the East and the West.
Yes.
But now there are too many prevalent stories going on trying to dismember Nigeria as it were, and Nollywood does not seem to be addressing that.
You see, there's so much we can do, and there's so little we can also achieve. All right, if you want to do something historical, all right, you, for instance, to even assess maybe a particular state, I know, Dalan Bako,
yes.
Our brother,
yes.
He was my boss here in NTA.
Yes.
Dalan Bako and I are actually thinking something in the North, in Sokoto,
yes.
All right? But again, because Daladi knows me, why can't I just pick up my folder and maybe go to Borno and say, let me talk about this Boko Haram issue? Will Alhaji Shetima, the governor, be able to, receive me the way it should be? Look, we are filmmakers. We are as big as any other senior government parastatal.
Yes.
All right. So if I do a proposal or I send a document, a letter to say, please, I'd like to visit, whatever, it should be given first-class treatment. But it's not
you're saying it. Yes.
Yes, I'm saying it. It's not like that right now. All right. Sometimes they still see producers as, those guys, we could just give them a handout.
Riffraffs.
For goodness sake, we have the best in terms of education, training, in terms of contacts. All right, all right. International contacts. All right, and Nigerian producers can actually tell Nigerian stories that the world wants to hear. Yes. All right. In America, they are eager, talking about how they are in the action films or whatever, how they conquer the world.
Yes.
All right. I think it's about time we start, doing the narratives to say Nigerian filmmakers, in terms of our content, we should be addressing films, like you said, that borders on national issues, national security.
Yes.
I'll give it again. For instance, can I pick up my biro and pen and maybe a proposal and say, I want to shoot in Aso Rock? Would they even allow me to shoot in Aso Rock? What is in Aso Rock? Not the human being they live there. But you see,
these are the
at the time they begin to see that this thing, we have to work together. All right? Aso Rock is a government place.
Yes.
That you and I should be able to walk in, take pictures if possible.
Yes.
Of course, there will be some certain restricted areas,
yes.
no doubt. Just like in White House.
Yes.
All right. But they have to open these things up to us. Although the minister at one of the palace, the Honorable Minister for Information and Culture, said, if you need Aso Rock, come. I will let you go there. That has never happened before. The first time I went into Aso Rock was when the former president invited us.
Yes.
And it was, hey, this is Aso Rock. Why should it be so? Why shouldn't it be a place I can easily walk in, do my job, get out, as long as it's going to benefit the country? So these are the things we're talking about. But I'm sure we're getting there pretty soon.
Okay, I'm sure you are so excited now, so I'm going to give you the opportunity to join the conversation. You'd like to join the conversation, you'd like to ask, our guests, one or two questions, or to pass some comments or make some requests to him. You do that when we come back. So stay with us.
When we came up with the team, say Operation Zero Tolerance, we were saying zero tolerance to deaths on our roads. We were saying having zero crashes, yes, on our roads.
We'd love to see you in Dashiki or Dandogo or Agbada.
The youths have a very big chance of making a very big difference. That's why I started a lot of projects.
We have not been able to distinguish traditional medicine from traditional religion. So that one has...
Every edition is an arresting conversation with distinguished Nigerians from various strata of the society, bearing their minds on how we can realize the Nigeria of our dreams. Join us live on Close Flow, Monday and Friday every week here on NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Close Flow. The conversation is about you. Thank you so much for staying with us. We do value your attention, your attentiveness, and of course readiness to be part of this conversation. Ralph has taken us round the clock, as it were, back into history, into the future, and then telling us where we are right now. But I'm still quietly not persuaded. I don't like to be carried away. Nigerians are, they are noted with their sweet tongue. I think he's just trying to sweeten the whole story. But now, Ralph, seriously, would you, as a parent, would you encourage your children to hope and think they can have a career in Nollywood?
You see, what we're doing right now is paving the way, clearing the debris so that our children can come and become better than what we're doing right now. Yes, I will encourage my children. I'll say, even right now, my last baby, she's very good to going to SS2.
Yes.
She started up as a science student.
But now
I was surprised when one of my old colleagues way back, who's based now in the UK, they came to do something in your school, and the guy called me and said, your daughter can sing, she can perform. I said, which my daughter? He said, Nicole. I said, Nicole can do what? I said, man, that girl is good. She's leading the drama group.
Yes.
I said, my daughter leading that group. And when she got back, I said, they said, you're leading the drama group. How come? How did you do it? He said, Daddy, But you see, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I will encourage any of my kids who want to follow the footsteps of their daddy, not just following my footsteps. They should be bigger than what I've done.
Express themselves. Yes.
Yes, I will encourage not just my kids. Any kid who wants to join the system, please feel free, because you see, we are the Moses. All right. What we're doing, we've gone through all the Red Seas and everything. Right from the land of Egypt, and that is the land of nothing.
Yes.
We begin to share the flow. People are beginning to see God's wonders in our lives. The manners have come and gone, but now we're still going to the promised land.
Yes.
All right. Well, but we want to get to the promised land. We don't want to, But what I'm trying to say in essence is that yes, it's an industry that I've started very slowly, but right now the progression rate is fast. We're heading places. In a short while, producers begin to leave our producers from anywhere in the world. We begin to drive our best cars, right? Live in our own big houses. It's there. We're not going to borrow money.
The potentials are there.
You put it at FM. If it's not there, maybe by now I'll have been selling Gary or Ilubo.
The reason why I'm saying this, Ralph, is that you are my friend and you're my brother.
Yeah.
Those potentials have not rubbed off on me. I've not seen any oil on my skin or on my lips or my forehead. I'm sure my viewers can attest to that.
If they close well on you, they will see that you're looking fresh. In fact, FM, like you said, I'm his brother. I've known FM for years. FM is like this because he's benefiting from what he's doing. We want to be like you, sir. We want to also be able to look good.
I told you, Ralph is almost a politician. Okay, want to quickly thank all our viewers who have joined us in the conversation. Quite a number of questions and comments here. Let's quickly run through them so that Ralph can respond. I hope this one will appeal to funding here, but let's run through them quickly. James from Mokota, it's good to have you talk on this issue. We need people like you to help boost the movie industry forward. Well done, sir. That is James. We want to say thank you to James from Mokota.
Hello, James. Thank you very much.
Now, Ekene from Ilupeju, NTA is big, so likewise Nollywood, but how come they have not been collaborating to translate our stories to the world like the days of Checkmate, Behind the Clouds, etc. Ekene from Ilupeju?
Well, in days of Checkmate and Behind the Clouds, etc. includes Fortunes.
Yes.
Or Mega Fortunes.
Yes.
Those were commissioned programs, but NTA, of course, Checkmate I think is not commissioned, but was a partnership arrangement.
Yes.
I did mention during the earlier interview that about a month or almost 2 months ago, myself and about 30 other filmmakers, producers
came into the house
on a mission to kind of get NTA back to working like it used to work in the old days. All right, NTA is still there. The equipment has even gotten better.
Yes.
But the incentive to really do the job, people are being to say it's not just a government. No, it's not just a government place. It's a place where the world sees us first from, all right? Because NTA is the eyes of Nigeria all over the world.
Yes.
So we have to be able to give to the world the way we are
best.
here in Nigeria, the best. So yes, we're going to do that, and very soon, those good old days, as they say, will come back. And we're focusing towards doing that.
Okay, Ekene, so that answers a question. Afolabi from Ikeja. The National Theatre has been lying low. Can't it be revived to bring back stage plays who miss the Habatugunde's era?
Well, I'm speaking here first as a filmmaker, but of course, like I said earlier on, Nollywood is, connotes the creative industry. And of course, National Theatre, at stage, what have you, cinemas, they are under the creative industry. Well, there was a gentleman that was there before, I think was removed, George Uforth.
Yes.
When he came in, felt, George, because we know George started from the National Theatre.
Yes.
And when he was removed, then they brought in Taoko.
Yes.
Of course,
who was again like your
Ta was a colleague here many years back in NTA. Although I've not been able to sit down to be able to ask questions on what can we do. But I was made to believe that things are beginning to look good again. And yes, the industry, in terms of National Theatre, very soon the Nigerian public will see the progression that is going to be taking place. And right now, if you go to the surrounding, you see that you can easily walk into National Theatre, maybe have your drinks, or go to the cinemas again, or use the banquet halls, all right, to do.
That has been revived?
Yeah, of course. In fact, as I'm speaking to you, something it's been planned.
Event,
yes. And it's looking good.
Okay.
It's looking good.
So Afolabi, there's hope for that. Gloria from Ebutemeta, presently, are you working on any movie, or what should we expect from you soon?
Yes, I'm working on a couple of things.
He's done a lot of series and movies, and
I want to mention this one. I have Goldline. This is coming up on NTA Network.
Okay.
And of course other networks. Goldline is a soap opera. Something hopefully bigger than Fortunes. Yes, we have other reality shows that are we're planning. And we have a film. We have 17. We have Absat. Absat is an Hausa, an English Hausa film that we're doing in conjunction with my colleague in the north, Alaji Dande Bako. We're doing things. Yeah, very soon we're going to be very, very visible. So we're going to be on your eyeballs, and you'll see us.
Okay, so Gloria, your appetite is now being raised. Omalara from Ejigbo, I'm interested in acting. How can I be involved in your productions?
Well, acting, before you become an actor, if you're not registered, you have to register with AGN.
Please, can you see it so that they
AGN is the Actors Guild of Nigeria. You don't just come from anywhere and drop into the system. You have to belong. So yes, if you want to know further, are you going to be part of AGN? You can see me. I can take you to the current president. Of course, my office. If you want to reach me, you can reach me through Facebook. You can reach me through Twitter. I'm just still Ralph Nwadike, or Nwadike Ralph. You can reach me at my office in Sulere, 16 Basio Gamba. Off Adeno Ogunsoya. All right. So, yes, we want people to come into the industry, but
you must come appropriately.
Yes, come appropriately also means that you must also be trained or educated. When I say training, that is in terms of apprenticeship. You must have it. If it's education, you must have gone to a school where you read drama, any of the communication arts or whatever. But you don't just come from anywhere and say you want to become an actor. It is a profession. It's not something that people say dropouts. It's not for dropouts. You know, you have to, for you to drop in, you have to belong. Yes.
Omalara, before you can drop into the profession, he says you must be properly trained. How do you groom aspiring actors? Well, this is Jerry. This is almost very close. Everybody's like they want to be actors. Do you have any film academy?
Many, many. We have the, I think the one in Ozo that is owned by Olorogun Zebejiro, my colleague. We have the Royal Arts Academy. We have the Lufudo production owned by the Joke Jacob and Uncle Olu Jacobs. We have several of them.
And Itpan also has.
Of course, Itpan has a number of them. So yes, I don't know. That is outside the university system. All right. There's also the Afolabi Adesoya. He has one. I think somewhere in Ogun State or so. So yes, there's so many schools you can go to get learning from. There's also the Benin Film Academy by Lancelot Oduamasoe in Benin. So if you really want to belong,
Yes.
there are several film academy or training institutes they can go to, and they give certificates recognized by federal government of Nigeria. So it's not to go and do a BA in English or whatever if you want to do the
Drama, if you
film,
want
the
to
drama
do-
thing.
yes, you know.
You can go to any of those academies and get your certificate and get your experience.
Okay, Kiari from Aja, what's your association doing to groom more producers, directors, etc. in the industry? That maybe you have spoken about the guild, but you
Yes.
want to know more. What exactly?
Well,
you building skills capacity?
I'll tell you something. We're daily,
Kiari from Aja.
Kiari, how you doing? We're daily building capacity. We, besides these institutions I've mentioned that are owned by practitioners, individual companies also do more like a reality show where the best talents are picked and given an instant
yes,
eat.
Yes.
No, right from that reality show,
Yes.
you are picked and given instant in to be either in a film or in a television program.
Series, yes.
We're starting something soon called Campus Stars, and we're looking at, and not just me, there are a number of my colleagues,
Who are involved.
yes, Fidelis Duka, Francis Onwuche, Tadeo Gidon, Tunjiba Mishimi. We're all doing things to make sure that the learning, the years of training we've got is also impacted,
Past, yes.
you know, to these young people that are coming up.
Okay, so Kiari, there's hope for you too. Maureen from Abalende, how come you don't organize script writing competitions or short films to discover more talent? Well, you just spoke about
Well, there are short films competition for festivals like the African Abuja International Film Festival, like the AFRIF done by Festival is done by Fidelis Duka. The AFRIF is done by Choma Ode.
Yeah.
They have short film competitions. Also, my friend and brother Victor Okai runs a short, you know, a short
film.
So
Even up to
all you need to do, you can just Google that. You know, ask this question on Google, they'll give you the direct way to go to. But if you don't know where to go to, I'm here. I'm a public servant, all right? Even though I'm a private producer, but because of my position, I've become a public servant. So you can come to me. Come to me at 16 Basogamba Street, Sulere, off Adeno Gusaya. I'll be there. I'll receive everybody. In fact, I mentor the young ones who are coming. You know, my mentees are those guys who really want to be like I am. Because if I was not also given the chance
to express yourself,
by the grace of God, I won't be where I am today. So please feel free to reach me. Buzz me up on Facebook or whatever. I will be there for you always.
Okay, Maureen, that's reassuring. I think I'm going to be buzzing him too. Ibrahim from Amu Wodofin, how come we don't have big studios where you do great movies instead of moving from location to location? Any plan for that?
Yes, there are plans for that. You see, these things cost a lot of money.
Yes.
And that's why sometimes it's like we're always falling back to government. It's not that. It's because government coming in it's not as if they're going to give us handouts. It's also a form of business. When we have big studios, oh, by the way, there are TV stations right now that are own studios where you can do gold collabs. I want to mention Agata Mata with our Rave TV, Greg Otayo, RT2 TV. There are so many of us who have set up, you know, such facilities for such programs. But again, on a larger scale, everybody's own, government needs to come in and collaborate with the existing structures, and so we can take our industry to where it should be.
Okay, great. So, Ibrahim, let's look forward to a bigger future. Udo from Awoyaya, 2 questions. How do you cope with critics when they speak against your work?
Just like if you keep on frowning at every critic to your work, then you lose all the friends you have. If they say, you see, criticism is just about telling you the areas you've not done well. And as a good filmmaker, you must be able to listen, learn, and then, of course, go out there and do the things they say you should do. Yeah, if you criticize my work, I'll tell you thank you, and I'll look at it critically, and then I'll go back and to the board and redraw.
I told you he's a master.
You know?
Now, Udo again asks, what is the objective of your association and what impact does it have on the sector?
If you've been watching this program, I've mentioned several areas which my association has affected on the lives of its members, and not just on the lives of the members alone, on the entire ecosystem. Ours is to make films. You know, ours is not just to make films. We make films where you can impact on people, from our viewers. All right, our films. Don't forget, we're here to educate, entertain, and
to
inform. So those three factors are always in what we do. All right. People used to say, "Oh, you guys used to do juju film or witchcraft or whatever," but you see, we don't just do juju films because we want to celebrate juju. All right. When you are anything evil, no evil lasts forever. All right. So there's always a beginning and an ending that tells a good story. So our objective mainly is to project these three factors I've mentioned, and then to showcase our work not just in the lives of Nigerians, to also show the world what we can do. Don't forget again, this is business. All right. Before now, most filmmakers think, "Oh, let's just do it." People say, "Oh, thank you, FM, you've done a good job." No, it's also a form of business. So you raise money to do film, you also want to make back your money. So it is inviting on us to do a job that will sell so that we can get back our returns. So basically, don't forget, a filmmaker is first a businessman before he's an entertainer. Before, he used to be first an entertainer before the business. Yes. But now we're looking at the business angle of it, and by grace of God, we're doing very well, I must say.
Okay, all right. Bernard seems to have the last word here. He says, "We have seen a lot of Nollywood stars going into politics or penury. Any hope of correcting this?"
There's a popular saying that is how you lay your bed that you sleep. It's how you lay your bed that you sleep on it, lie on it. All right. So that is why we're daily training, informing, educating our members. All right. Where you are today is not probably where you're going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow you may be a better stage. Tomorrow something may happen. You're not who you think you should be. So we're saying always be ahead in everything you do. All right, put some money down in terms of saving, take care of your health in terms of health insurance and whatever, and then live a good life. All right, be proactive, create ideas, develop ideas. Don't forget that idea you think is nothing can actually bring in billions for you. We've seen it happen all over the world. It's happening even in Nigeria. Some guys have, little ideas that turn into big money. So we must continue to be proactive. We must not look at the level at which we are right now and say, "Oh, it's the end." No, it's not the end. If you're going to sleep in the night, no matter whether you're going to bed without a kobo in your hand, believe that not the yahoo kind of belief though. You have to work. You must work for your living. But what I'm trying to say is that for every idea that you create, you develop, there is something in it for you. All right. If you don't know how to do it, if you don't know how to push it, go to those you think can help you. But I tell you, no idea is a wasted idea. Every idea is a money idea.
Okay, now, but you have not addressed the question of penury. So you said insurance. What kind of insurance provision do you have for your members?
Before now, you must have read or you must have seen some of us who have just died suddenly.
Yes.
Because there's no health insurance.
Yes.
But now the industry, we're very more proactive now. My association movie producers have come out with what we call Nwadike. Nwadike is simply a form of insurance where our members pay very little premium, 15,000 for critical health insurance, group life insurance, and HMO. All right, and we have three powerful insurance companies that we're working with, and for just 15,000, you don't just have to die suddenly. All right, and then again, you've heard of situation where some of our members have died on location, just like that.
Yes,
you just fell down and died. If that happens to you, if you're part of this,
scheme,
Nwadike insurance scheme, you're anchored by the Association of Movie Producers, your family at least will benefit between 2 million to 2.5 million. All right,
that's guaranteed.
Yes, guaranteed. Before now, our members die and we start throwing around. Even when our members fall sick, critical health insurance like kidney, other serious issues, we start begging. Those days are over because with Nwadike, if you're sick, even before you get sick, you are treated. Because our members keep on hoping to get better, and then start getting worse. But now when you're ill, you don't have to beg anybody for anything. Just with that 15,000 that cover these three insurance things I mentioned, you can walk into, of course, the hospital facilities that are available and get yourself treated. Not just you and your family. So what are we saying? The industry, like I said, is getting better. When our health issues are taken care of, we can be able to really think well and do greater jobs. And again, like I mentioned, investors are coming. Funding are coming not just from Nigeria alone, they're also coming from outside the world. Because let me just say something quickly. The lowest production budget in any American film is about between $500,000 to $1 million.
Whereas here,
Give $500,000 to a Nigerian
producer.
film.
Yes.
You know how much that is in Naira? It's a lot of money. We will do a lot. And we'll even do better than the film that is done outside there anywhere in the world. So come. Investors come. All right? That is one of the things we're going to be talking about in December, from the 6th to 9th of December by grace of God. It's called I Am Nollywood. I Am Nollywood is inviting every filmmaker from anywhere in the world, wherever you are, as long as you're a Nigerian filmmaker, come back home
and let's talk.
Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's invite the investors from Nigeria, from anywhere in the world, to say this is a place to put your money in. This is the right place. Nigeria is in fact, the potentials in this country, from filmmaking to agriculture to oil
music to fashion.
Music. You see our music, my brother.
Yes.
All right. Tune into any station. It's Nigerian music. That's the level where people don't even watch the foreign films that they watch. Go to cinemas. All right. There are more. You know,
crowd.
Most gates
yes.
are closed for Nigerian films than even the foreign films. All right. It's all sellout. Sellout crowd, sellout gates. That is where Nollywood is going to. And by the grace of God, I keep on saying, if you're an investor and watching this, come to Nollywood, come talk to me. I'll show you how to use the money, and then you get back your money.
All right, better come and talk to me first, because I'm the gate man. You know, in Nigeria, we are gatekeepers everywhere.
That's correct.
So you talk to me. When you talk to me, I'll talk to him. So whatever you are taking to him, I have to. All right, thank you very much, all our viewers. Thank you, Ralph, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's been very exciting having you here. I like the optimism you have given to us about what's going to happen to Nollywood and how our lives can be affected.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and for our viewers, the conversation is never over on Close Flow. Don't forget www.ntlnc.com, www.youtube.com/NTA2 Lagos. And don't forget our tweet at NTLNC on our Twitter handle. Go in there, share all this amazing information that Ralph has given us today with all your friends, with all your fans, with all those who are aspiring to be part of Nollywood. Thank you, and bye for now.